Welcome, Terry. Welcome, Margie. Marianne, namaste. All right. For today, grab a couple of blocks and a blanket. You get to start in position of your choice. So you could be seated, you could be lying on your back, maybe child's pose, whatever feels good for you to settle in for these first couple of minutes. Allow yourself to focus a little bit more inward. Welcome, welcome. That is a brand new mat. I remember when my mat used to be that sticky. That's good. Anyway, allow yourself to settle in. This is an all levels class, so which means you will be listening to me talk because I offer a lot of options. Take what you would like, change up whatever you need. This next hour is for you. And we will begin with settling in with a little bit of breath work and some intention setting, which I always like to start my classes with. So whatever it took for you to get here, can you just let that be for a moment and just realize that we can pick up the rest of our day after class. This is our opportunity to be present. And so often we get caught up in the next thing to do or thinking about the past. But when we come into this sacred space we call yoga, we allow ourselves to breathe fully, move mindfully, and come into a little bit more presence. So allow your eyes to close or soften. Allow your breath to deepen just a little bit more. Really fill up and slowly exhale. Allow the eyes to soften. Allow the jaw to relax, the tongue to drop down. One more deep and full breath, becoming more present, more in tune with your natural rhythm, your heart beating, your breath like a wave. Now we're going to begin a 3-part breath, just to really notice the details of your breath, slow it down even a bit more. So on your next inhale, whenever that arrives, fill up the chest, expand the rib cage, fill up the whole lower belly, and then slowly exhale out, low belly, softening the rib cage, out the chest. Just moving through that 3-part breath. Again, inhaling through the chest, rib cage, fill up the low belly, and slow deflating. One or two more rounds, depending on your pace. And we're going to add some retention, just a light holding of the breath. But if this doesn't feel good to you, feel free to skip it and just do the 3-part breath. So fill up on the inhale. When you get to the very top of your inhale, just hold and retain the breath, keeping the whole body relaxed. A bit longer for 3, 2, and 1, and then fully exhale out. Big inhale all the way to the top. And this time we're going to exhale and hold at the very bottom of the exhale. So press out all the air in the belly. So there's no air left. And then hold the breath there, staying relaxed, soften. For 3, 2, and 1. And then one more deep breath in. Exhale out. Final retention on the inhale. So fill up all the way to the top of your inhale. And hold there, staying relaxed, feeling the expansion and the softness all at the same time. For 3, 2, and 1. And fully exhale. And then just return back to your normal breathing, in and out. And bringing both hands together, pressing the thumbs into the heart space, or bringing the palms onto the heart, whichever feels more natural to you. And setting an intention, just something simple to remember to bring you back. Every time the mind wanders or has another list of things to do, just say this, either one word or a short phrase. Could even be an image to bring you back to the present moment. Drawing a deep breath into the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And if you are lying on the ground or in child's pose, bring some small movement into your body and meet us in a seated posture, cross-legged. If you're already in cross-legged, just stay as you are. Root down through the sit bones, spine is nice and tall. Inhale, squeeze the arms, pounding up, really expand big. Exhale, hands to heart. Pull your intention into the heart space. One more time, inhale. And exhale. This time we'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, twisting to the left, opposite hand to knee. Keep the spine nice and tall. Inhale, reaching through center, lengthen fingertips to the sky, and then twisting the opposite way. Again, looking over the back shoulder, deep breath here. And then inhale, squeezing the arms up. We're going to cactus the arms, bend the elbows, bring the heart toward the sky. Maybe the gaze comes up only if it's comfortable on the neck. If not, keep it forward. One breath here. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Pause here, say your intention, focus back in. And then from here, we'll either roll forward onto the knees or bring the knees to the side. And we're gonna come into a child's pose. So knees come about mat width, big toes come in, arms stretch out long as forehead comes to the mat. If the forehead doesn't easily touch the mat, take one of those blocks and place the forehead onto the block. Settling in here, hips to heels. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Keep your knees and hips as they are. Walk the hands off to the right side. Draw your left hip towards your left heel. Bring the forehead back down if you've lifted it and breathe into your whole left side body. Really fill up from the inside out. One more breath. And then walk the hands back to center. And then hands come off the left side of the mat. Draw your right hip towards your right heel. Forehead lands back down. Breathe into that right rib cage. Really fill up. Exhale it out. And then inhale, bring the hands back to center. One breath here. Maybe coming up onto the fingertips as if you had little apples underneath the palms of your hands. Again, just an option. And then send the palms back down. We're going to lift up the hips coming into a tabletop position. Bring the knees in about hip width apart. On the inhale, we'll sweep the right arm up towards the sky. Threading the needle, right arm comes underneath the left, bringing the right side of the head down. Option to keep that left hand where it's at, planted, or you can extend it long overhead, or you could even take a bind, which is wrapping that hand and coming either to the low back or the right inner thigh. Feel your breath at the back of your heart space. So feel as if you inhale, your shoulder blades are moving apart, creating more expansion. One more breath. And then the left hand comes back down in front of the face. Inhale, sweep that right arm back up, reaching toward the sky. And then exhale, land it back down. Same thing, other side. Left arm reaches up, sweeping that left arm underneath the right into thread the needle. Left side of head comes down. Same options as before with the right arm. You can keep it as is. You can extend it long over the head, or you can wrap it into a bind, landing onto the low back or reaching to the left inner thigh. Breathing into the back of the heart space, full and deep. And then the right hand lands back in front of the face, sweeping that left arm back up, reaching toward the sky. And then left hand comes down, back into your table. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Press into each thumb and each finger. Moving through some cat-cows to warm up the spine. So we'll inhale, belly shifts down towards your mat, gaze comes forward. And then when you're ready to exhale, round it out, chin tucks into the chest, round the upper back. And moving at your own breath pace. So it might be different than mine, different than your neighbors. Really getting into all those little crevices along the spine. And without judgment, where do you feel some tension? Can you breathe into that space? And then as you move through these traditional cat-cows, if you'd like to add some rolling movements or side to side, just an option, or you can stick with cat-cow. Few more breaths, moving breaths and movement. Couple more breaths. And then we'll return back to our tabletop position. Wait for the siren to go by. Grab your blocks. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the shoulders and in the chest. You're going to place them about shoulder width apart. You might have them on the first height or the second height. And you're going to place your elbows, kind of the back of the elbows onto the blocks, shifting the hips back into your child's pose. Palms come together as you bring the thumbs towards the back of the neck. Just a little bit deeper tricep, chest, and shoulder opener. Your head might touch the ground, it might not. Adjust the blocks as needed. And then just lightly engage the belly button spine, just so we don't have too much of a sway in the low back. Open us up for our downward facing dog coming up soon. One more deep breath. And then on the inhale, straightening the arms, lifting the hips back up. And just moving one block to each side at the top of your mat. You may or may not use them later. Coming back into your table. From table, let's extend the right leg long. Flex that right foot. Draw all the toes down so you're squaring that hip. Drawing your belly button up towards your spine. Stay right here. Lift the opposite left arm, balance, stable. Right foot is flexed. Feel energy coming out of the heel towards the back wall. One more breath. You've got it. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, just the arm comes down, left hand plants. Keep this right leg extended, but bring the right toes down towards the mat. And then we're going to lean on back. So shoulders come behind the wrist. Press into that right big toe. Lengthen out the calf muscle. And then inhale, shifting forward, and just bending that right knee back down into your table. Left leg extends, flex the left foot, draw all the toes down towards the mat. Hug up belly button to spine, stay right here, or lift the opposite right arm, balance table. Strength and length at the same time. Breath is smooth and fluid. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, right hand plants down. Keep that left leg long. Just bring the left toes tucked onto the mat and then lean on back. Push into that left big toe. And then bringing that left knee back down to meet the right into your table. And from here, we come into downward facing dog. Bring your hands, walk them out about a handprint in front towards the top of your mat. Tuck your toes, engage your core and lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Make sure the hands are still spread nice and wide. Option to pedal out through the feet if you would like. And knees can always stay bent. Relax the head and neck. Relax the jaw. Maybe open the mouth, move the chin a little side to side. And then settle into your down dog. Bring your feet to stillness. One breath here. Exhale it out. Heels come toward the earth. On your inhale, shifting forward into plank. Coming up onto the toes, line up the wrists and shoulders. Bring your gaze a few inches in front of the fingertips. Knees can always come down, or legs can be straight. One breath here. Exhale it out. One more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips nice and high as you press back. Pedal out the feet if you would like. And then bring the feet to stillness. One more. Inhale forward into plank. Knees can come down. We're warming up. One breath here. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Are shoulders warm? Yes, good, thank you. Feedback is great. From here, let's lift the heels, bend the knees, and you're gonna walk your way up to meet your hands. Hang in your forward fold. Knees can be bent. You can use a block underneath the hands if you would like. Shake out the head, yes and no. Option to sway. option to bend elbows and clasp each elbow if you would like. One more breath. Exhale it out. Arms come long, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Arms can hang long or they can be placed on the thighs for support. When we arrive in our mountain, shoulders roll back and down. Feet are about hip width apart. Just make sure they're about hip width, parallel. Pick up the toes, spread them, set them back down. Smile, you've arrived here, you're standing. Heart shines forward, crown rises towards the sky. Close the eyes just for a moment. Feel the energy you've created just with some of that small movement. Check in with your breath. At any point, if the breath becomes very shallow or jagged, your body telling you either to back off or just to focus more in on that inhale and exhale. One more inhale, exhale. We'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to forward fold. You can swan dive open or hands can come to heart center. Inhale to half lift. Draw the core up and in. Spine is nice and straight like a letter L. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, you're going to rise back up. Arms can come to the side or to heart center. And then exhale, bring the hands behind you. Clasp either elbow to elbow or interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to draw the knuckles or elbows down. Zip up the core as you begin to just lean slightly back. Make sure we don't lock out the knees, so soft bend in the knees. Maybe bring the gaze up, heart towards sky. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, forward fold with the bind. You can put a deeper bend in the knees if you need. Knuckles can come toward the sky if it's available, or they can rest on the low back. Stay for the inhale, lengthen the arms. Exhale, release the arms down to the ground. Inhale, half lift, draw the core up and in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising on up, arms out to the side or through heart center. Exhale, hands to heart, pull your intention. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale to rise, either arms out to the side or through heart center. Exhale, hands come behind, interlacing the hands, either elbow to elbow or interlace fingers. Roll the shoulders back and down. Knuckles draw towards the sky. Gaze can come up. Soft bend in the knees. And then exhale, forward fold with the bind. One breath here. As you exhale, hands release down to the earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising on up. Greeting this new day, light and love. Exhale, hands to heart. How are we doing? Good. All right, we'll add on. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Hands plant, bend the knees, step the right leg back. Big step back with the right leg. Gather up all that core strength. Inhale into your high lunge. Shoulders release back and down. Face the other way. Hips are squared forward, up on the back ball of the foot. Nice. Find one spot to gaze at. Let your eyes settle. We do that so seldom now with all of our scrolling. Can your eyes settle on one point? Stay for an inhale. Exhale, warrior two, opening up, spin this back foot, line up the front heel, back arch, arms come to a T. Shoulders release back and down, gazes toward the front fingers. Peek at your back arm to see if it's in line with your front. Nice. One more breath here. We're going to flip this front palm, reverse your warrior, left fingertips to the sky. And then coming over into your side angle. So forearm comes either onto this front thigh or it could reach down. Option to use a block here if you would like. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. And we're going to try a bind here. So with binding, when we're in a side angle, I want you to bring this arm and rotate the thumb down and back. So the whole shoulder rotates, not just the elbow. You can place that right hand on your low back, or if it's optional, you can reach around to that left in the side. So again, either low back. The idea is keep this right shoulder, right chest open. One more breath. Fire up that left thigh. Exhale. On the inhale, rising up, reverse triangle, straighten the front leg. Left fingertips reach up to the sky. Whew, give that front leg a break. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands. Frame this front foot. Stepping back into your plank. One breath in plank. And then we're lowering down to our belly. Squeeze the elbows in tightly as you lower all the way down to the belly. Release your toes. Hands shift up towards your face, coming into Sphinx, lifting the chest, slide the elbows underneath the shoulders. If this is too much on the low back, feel free to bring the elbows more forward. Just still press into the forearms. Bring the heart through as much as you can. Exhale it out. And then we'll lower on down, hands come underneath shoulders, tuck the toes, press back through table to either downward dog or child's pose. You decide what you need. Child's pose is always available to you at any point, no judgment. From downward facing dog, we'll lift the heels, bend the knees, travel up to meet your hands. That could be walking, that could be lightly hopping. You decide. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale as you rise on up. Either arms out to the side or hands through heart center. Exhale, hands to heart. One round, deep breath. Other side, inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift, core is nice and strong. Exhale, fold it in, plant the hands, left leg as we take a big step back. Engage your core as you rise up into your high lunge. Up on the back ball of the foot. Good, allow your gaze to settle on one spot. Shoulders are released back and down. And if this is too much on the shoulders, hands could always come to heart center as an option. One more breath. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Spin the back foot, line up the front heel, back arch. Arms come to a T. Bend into that front knee and draw it towards your pinky toe, just so it doesn't sickle inward. Shoulders are soft. Gaze towards those front fingers. Soften through the face even. One more breath. On the inhale, flip the front palm, reverse warrior. And then exhale, coming into your side angle. So same options as before, forearm to thigh, or you could reach down either to the block or the ground. This top arm, we're going to bind it. So you're going to really rotate the thumb so it's coming toward the wall behind you, and then land that either on your low back or possibly the right inner thigh, so different options. Stay committed to the bend in that front knee. One more breath. Exhale it out. On the inhale, reverse triangle, flip the front palm, straighten the front leg, right fingertips rise. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame this front foot, stepping back into plank. So options for vinyasa, you can lower down to chaturanga or you could skip it. You are gonna lower down to chaturanga, elbows squeeze in, lower halfway down. Inhale, tops of hands, tops of feet. And then exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Vinyasas are always optional. And you can take any other option, knees down, cat cows instead, whichever you would like. Vinyasas are choose-tos, not have-tos. From downward facing dog. Lifting the heels, bending the knees, traveling to meet your hands. Walking or floating. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising on up. Exhale, hands to heart, intention pulls in. Excellent. We're gonna move through that pose series one more time. If you have a block, place it up at the top of your mat, either first or second height in the center. We're gonna add a balance posture of half moon on. It's nice to have a block. Again, just optional, but it's there and you're not like fishing for it while you're trying to balance at the same time. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, right leg takes a big step back. Inhale as you rise into your high lunge. One breath here. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Arms come to a T. You all look so strong. One breath here. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale over into your side angle with a bind. So right arm, whole shoulder rotates, either landing on the low back or the inner thigh. Option to take a full bind, which is reaching underneath with the left arm, underneath that left leg. Really see if you can pull back that right shoulder. One more breath. Exhale it out. Release the bind. On your inhale, reverse triangle, flip the front palm, straighten the front leg. Half moon fun. So from here, this is where you're gonna look at your block. You're going to place that left hand, it's about a foot in front of your bottom foot, onto that block, and then begin to lift up this back leg. Right hand can stay on the hip as an option. You're gonna try and stack right hip on top of left. Also, like in your bind, stacking right shoulder on top of left. Option to reach right fingers up toward the sky. Breath is smooth and fluid. Yes, yes. One more, you've got it. And then on your exhale, quiet landing warrior two. Yay, you did it. You gotta have a yay at the end of that. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame the front foot. This is your option to vinyasa or not. So you can choose to go from plank to down dog, or even child's pose, or you can move through your chaturangas. Please do so with elbows in. We end in either down dog or child's pose for a breath or two. On the inhale from down dog, lift the heels, bend the knees, travel up to meet your hands. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale as you rise, arms reach toward the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Give yourself a breath here, check in. Are you honoring where you need to be today? Say your intention. Exhale it out into the world. Other side fun, here we go. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Hands plant, step the left leg back, big step back. Inhale as you rise to your high lunge. Either arms lifted or hands at heart center. One breath here. Warrior two, spinning that back foot. Arms come to a T. Bend into that front knee. Flipping the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale as you come into your side angle with the bind. Left hand can either reach toward the low back, left inner thigh, or reaching the right arm underneath. See if you can open up that left shoulder, stacking left shoulder on top of right. One more breath. On the exhale, releasing the bind. Inhale, reverse triangle, right fingertips reach up, straightening that right leg. And then here we go for some half moon fun. Right hand comes down either onto the block or the ground in front of you. Left hand can stay on the hip to launch off that left leg off the ground. See if you can stack a left hip over right. See if you can really draw that left shoulder back. Option, left fingertips can reach up toward the sky. Breath is smooth and fluid. That's probably the most important part. Holding this shape, another breath or two. When you're ready to exhale, soft landing warrior two. Ta-da! Okay. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, framing your front foot. This is your option to move through a vinyasa or not. Decide what your body needs. You're lowering down through chaturanga, elbows squeeze in. We meet in down dog or child's pose, you decide. One breath wherever you are at. From downward facing dog, heels lift, knees bend, travel up to meet your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Fingertips reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Yourself a breath here. We're going to move through a balance sequence. So I'm going to link together a few balancing postures together. Feel free to stop at any point. If we're moving through, you're like, nope, I'm just going to stay in this one. Feel free to do that. Or you can flow through the few that I have sequenced together. We are revisiting half moon, so keep that in the back pocket of your mind. We're going to get there in a different way because it's fun. So anyway, root down through both feet. Find one spot to gaze at first. So pick a spot in front of you. Allow your gaze to settle there. Notice your breath and keep that breath smooth and fluid. So we're going to lean into the right foot. Begin to bend the left knee. And then bend this left knee so you have a 90-degree angle from your hip to your knee to your ankle. Hands come to heart center. Option is to stay here. Our option is to come into a standing figure four. So bringing this outside left ankle to the top thigh. And begin to bend this right knee and sink back into that right heel. Gaze is still soft. One more breath here. Your option is to stay here. The other option would be to come into eagle. So this top left leg is going to come all the way over, crisscross. Option to either wrap the calf or left big toes touch down. And then if you want, hands can stay here, or you can add the arm. Left arm comes under, right arm comes over. Either shoulders, back of hands, or palm to palm. One more breath here. From here, we're going to release the hands, keep the legs as they are. Begin to straighten the legs, but keep the legs crossed as you fold forward. Option to use a block here to rise up the floor. Now here's what I'd like you to do. You're coming into half moon from here. Plant the left foot. Put the left hand on the block, right hand on your right hip as you bring this right leg up, opening up into your half moon. Right fingertips can reach up toward the sky. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, coming down into your forward fold. Right foot meets left. Sway it out side to side. Notice if you've created any tension in the jaw or the face. We're going to roll on up, one vertebrae at a time. All that fun. Other side. Here we go. Stay with me. Starting in mountain, find your gaze first. Breath is smooth and fluid. From here, we're sinking into that left foot, bending the right knee. Starting in one-legged mountain, bending the right knee, 90-degree angle from hip to knee to ankle. Hands come to heart center. And remember, you can always stop along the way. It's up to you. From here, coming into our figure four, outside of the right ankle comes onto that left thigh. Sink into the left heel as you bend the left knee. Your option is to stay here or crossing this right leg all the way over into eagle. So crisscross legs, either left toes stay down or you can wrap the calf. Right arm comes under, left arm comes over, either hands on shoulders, back of hands, or palm to palm. Find that smooth and fluid breath. One more. And from here, we'll release the arms. Plant that right foot down, crisscross legs as you fold forward. Hands can come onto a block. Now from here, right foot's going to plant, right hand comes onto the block or the ground, left hand on left hip. You're going to bring this left leg up into your half moon, opening up, left hip stacks on top of right. Left fingertips can release toward the sky. Stay for an inhale, you've almost got it. Exhale, lowering down, forward fold, left foot meets right. Yeah. Sway a little side to side. And then from here, bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width, toes out, heels in. We're going to sink into our yogi squat. So bend the knees, either forearms can come onto the thighs, or you can sit on a block. Palms come to heart center, elbows come to inner thighs as you gently, keyword gently, begin to press the inner thighs open. Okay, for an inhale. And then exhale, lower down onto your seat. Bring the knees in for one exciting round of boat. Here we go. Roll the shoulders back and down, begin to lean back, engage the core. Just be mindful the shoulders don't roll forward. You can lift the feet as an option and bring the arms forward as an option. Other options would be to straighten the legs or straighten the arms up overhead. You decide what your boat ride's gonna look like. You've got 3 more breaths. Shaking is okay. Just gets a little wavy when you shake. One more breath. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, bring the soles of the feet together, knees come wide, lifting forward, nice tall spine. And then exhale to fold. Release the head and neck. Exhale. On the inhale, rolling on up. Using the hands to feel the knees in. We're going to roll down onto our back. Have a block nearby. You may or may not use it. I'm just going to switch these one across really quick. Once you're on your back, tuck your knees into your chest. You can rock a little side to side if you would like, or make little circles. And then from here, let's bring the soles of the feet down, keep the knees bent. We're coming into one round of bridge. You can use your block for this if you would like. Walk the heels back so your knees and ankles are stacked. Arms are long by your side. And then as you inhale, lifting the hips up, keeping the knees parallel. Option to slide the block, either the first or second height underneath the sacrum, so more towards your tailbone. If you want to remain a more active bridge, tuck one shoulder underneath and then the other, clasping the hands underneath the low back. Really press through the soles of the feet. Broaden through your collarbones. One more inhale. And exhale, release the hands or release the block out from underneath as you slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Once your spine is all the way on the mat, knees kick out from one side to the other. And then for a second round of an inversion, feel free to do that restorative bridge again. If shoulder stand is in your practice and you want to go there, and I'm assuming you don't have a head or a neck injury, feel free. If you'd like a more gentle option and not quite ready for shoulder stand, so grab your block and come into that restorative bridge once again. Once your sacrum is settled on the block, you can lift one or both legs up toward the sky. The idea of an inversion is the blood flows into the heart and the head. Getting two or just one? You wouldn't have been the first though. If your legs are up, have a little fun, roll out the ankles, move the legs out and in if you would like. Anything to stimulate that blood flow into the heart and head. If from shoulder stand, you enjoy plow, where the feet come behind the head. Legs can be long or knees can be bent. Just options. Again, please don't move the head side to side. And then when you feel ready with control, palms can either come onto the mat or grip the edges of the mat as you slowly roll out from plow or shoulder stand. Once you are on your mat, pull the knees wide in toward the chest, coming into happy baby. Soles of the feet flex as they come toward the sky, reaching either the hands to the balls of the feet, or you can bend the elbows and hook them behind the backs of your knees. The idea is to just get a really deep low back release. You can sway side to side. You can remain stationary. Some happy baby, releasing the feet, bringing the knees in 90-degree angles if you're sitting in an invisible chair, from hips to knees to ankles. Arms come out to a T. Knees float to the right side. If they don't easily touch the ground, feel free to slide one of those blocks underneath the knees. Gaze can be up at the sky or over your opposite shoulder. And if the mind starts to wander, which it naturally does, can you bring your intention back as your anchor? And we do this on our mat so that we can do this throughout our day when our mind is scattered. And we need to be able to focus or just release the tension from the scattering mind. A couple more deep breaths. Softening into the earth. And when you're ready to inhale, knees come back towards center. And then they float over to the left side. Gaze can be up at the sky or over the opposite shoulder to the right. Once again, settling in. Couple more deep and full breaths. When your next inhale arrives, knees float back towards the center. Any final posture you would like to do before entering into your Shavasana, feel free to do so. If there's anything that you need to complete your practice, and settling into Shavasana, surrendering into the earth. I will call you out with a chant when it is time. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself. I am enough. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself. I am enough. I am enough. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Drawing in deep, deep breaths to begin some small movement. Coming back to this sacred space you created for yourself and for all those around. And then creating some bigger movements, maybe stretching long or hugging knees into chest. So you find yourself in a fetal position on your favorite side. And when you feel ready, rise into your final seated posture to close out class. Keeping the eyes closed or soft, this last moment inward before igniting your day. Palms come together, thumbs press at heart center. Remembering that you are enough. Say your intention to yourself and carry it with you into your day to every person you encounter. And that is enough. And the light within me honors the light within each one of you. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. So nice to see all of you. Thank you at home. If you have any questions, comments, I'm always a student. Feel free to chat afterwards. Otherwise, I'm here next Thursday. Maybe see you then. Well, thank you, Marianne. Great to have you again.